What if your forgotten 2p coin is secretly worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $100,000? Moneybag. In this video, we reveal the top 5 ultra-rare, 2 new Pence coins with shocking values and hidden histories. Don't blink, you could be holding a fortune in your hands. Background: 1977, a year of celebration and coin confusion. 1977 was a historic year in the UK. Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, marking 25 years on the throne. While most of the spotlight was on commemorative coins and silver crowns, the humble 2p coin quietly became part of a numismatic mystery. Back in the 1970s, British currency still bore the transitional label, New Pence, a move to distinguish newly introduced decimal coins from the old pre-decimal system. By 1977, millions of standard 2p coins were struck bearing the words, New Pence, along with the familiar crown Tudor rose on the reverse and Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on the obverse. Nothing special, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. The rare errors that drive the price through the roof. The 1977 2p coin, in its basic form, is common. But error coins? Extremely rare. And when collectors see error coins from this year, they pay big. Let's break down the most sought-after and valuable 1977 2p errors. 1. Mule errors. A mule occurs when 2 mismatched coin dies are used in the minting process. Imagine the reverse of a 2p coin paired with the wrong obverse, possibly from another denomination or year. These mistakes are incredibly rare and can be worth $55,000 to $87,000, depending on condition. 2. Off-metal strikes. In some cases, 2p coins were accidentally struck on the wrong metal blanks, either foreign planchets or blanks meant for other UK coins. These coins can look slightly different in color, weight, or sound when dropped. Some of these odd metal error coins have fetched upwards of $108,000 in private auctions due to their rarity and pristine condition. 3. Double or triple strikes. Coins that were struck multiple times by mistake show blurred or duplicated designs. These are easy to spot if you know what to look for, and collectors pay thousands for well-preserved examples. Value: real coins, real money. Let's talk numbers. Error versions of the 1977 2p New Pence coin are not just rare, they are among the most aggressively hunted coins in UK history. White heavy checkmark: a mule error in mint condition has sold for $55,000. White heavy checkmark off-metal strike examples have been known to fetch $87,000 or more at private collector auctions. White heavy checkmark, and in extremely rare, verified cases, especially when multiple errors appear on a single coin, values have skyrocketed to $108,000 or even higher. What to look for: Coin Hunter's Checklist. If you want to join the hunt for this 6-figure treasure, here's exactly what to look for in your coin jar. White heavy checkmark: check the date, make sure it's 1977. White heavy checkmark: look for New Pence, later coins changed to 2 pence in 1982. White heavy checkmark: inspect for misprints, any unusual spacing, misshaped lettering, or blurring. White heavy checkmark: look at alignment, are the front and back perfectly centered? If not, that could be a strike error. White heavy checkmark: test the metal, if the coin looks off in color or reacts differently to a magnet, it may be a wrong planchet error. White heavy checkmark: weigh it, authentic 2p coins from 1977 weigh 7.12 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it could be an off-metal strike. Why this coin is a crown jewel for collectors. The 1977 2p coin isn't just a rare find, it's a piece of British history wrapped in mystery and minted in error. It represents a transition era in UK currency, the silver jubilee of a beloved monarch, and the thrill of discovering something priceless in the ordinary. When minting mistakes slip through the cracks during such a symbolic year, the result is a collector's dream, and for you it could mean tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 1: The story behind the 2 new pence coin. To understand why the 1975 2 new pence is such a massive deal, we need to rewind a bit. In 1971, the UK officially went decimal, ditching the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. As part of this transformation, new coins were introduced, including the bronze 2 new pence, featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the front and the badge of the Prince of Wales on the back. From 1971 to 1981, the reverse side of the coin said, New Pence. But starting in 1982, the wording was changed to 2 pence, as the public had become familiar with the decimal system. Part 2, The Rare 1975 Error, a Numismatic Mystery. There have been whispers in the coin collecting world for years about the mythical 1975 2 new pence error coin. Some believe a few were struck as test or pattern coins and were never meant to enter public hands. Others think a rare minting error occurred, causing a small number to be dated 1975 when they shouldn't have been produced at all. Either way, only a handful are believed to exist, and those that do have become white whales for collectors. What makes the 1975 coin special? Wrong year. Official minting records do not show any 2p coins made for circulation in 1975. New pence inscription. Coins still used the new pence design until 1981, but this specific year was skipped. Extremely low mintage. Experts estimate fewer than 10 authentic examples may exist. Part 3. The value. How much is this coin worth? If you're lucky enough to find a 1975 2 new pence error coin, hold on to your seat, because the value is absolutely staggering. White heavy checkmark in circulated condition, these coins can sell for $60,000. White heavy checkmark mint condition specimens easily go for $90,000. White heavy checkmark with proven provenance and professional grading, auction houses have seen bids climb as high as $120,000. Why such a massive price tag? It's all about rarity, historical anomaly, and collector demand. When a coin that shouldn't exist actually does, it becomes a treasure. One that coin collectors, investors, and museums are desperate to own. Part 4, How to Identify the Real Deal. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for, how to know if you have this coin. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 1, check the date. Look closely. The coin must say 1975. If it does, you've got something incredibly rare. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 2, look for new pence. The reverse must read new pence, not 2 pence. This proves it fits the pre-1982 design. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 3, Queen's portrait. The obverse should feature Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait, by Arnold Machin, used between 1968 and 1984. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 4, Weight and metal. It should be made of bronze, weighing approximately 7.12 grams. Anything significantly lighter could be a post-1992 coin or fake. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 5, Professional grading. If you believe you have a 1975 2 new pence coin, get it authenticated immediately. Use respected services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. Part 5, Why this coin is a big deal. The thrill of rare coins isn't just about the money, it's about history, mystery, and the excitement of discovery. The 1975 2 new pence error coin is like a ghost in the numismatic world. It's not in the records, yet it's out there, in the wild. Whether it slipped out of the Royal Mint by mistake or was part of an experimental run, one thing is certain, its rarity makes it a legend. And if one turns up in your drawer, your piggy bank, or a flea market stall, you could become part of coin collecting history, and a whole lot richer. History of the coin, the backstory of the new pence design. To understand why this coin is worth tens, or even hundreds, of thousands of dollars, we need to go back to 1971, the year of decimalization in the UK. That's when the British currency system shifted from the old pounds, shillings, and pence to the simpler decimal system we know today. When decimal coins were first introduced, the new 2p coin was marked new pence to differentiate it from the old pre-decimal coins. From 1971 to 1981, all 2p coins bore the inscription, New Pence, on the reverse side. However, in 1982, something changed. The error, how it happened. Somewhere during this transition in the early 1980s, a small number of 2p coins were mistakenly minted in 1983, or possibly even 1980, with the old, New Pence, design instead of the updated, 2 pence. This was not a deliberate commemorative strike. It was a genuine error, an accidental slip-up during mass production. These coins are known today as the 1982p New Pence era coins. They should never have existed. They were likely struck using leftover dies, or a die was accidentally reused during the minting process. Because of this extremely rare error, only a handful of these coins are known to exist, making them ultra-scarce and highly desirable to collectors. The value, why it's worth so much. Now to the burning question, why is this tiny 2p coin worth more than a brand new car, or even a luxury watch? The answer lies in scarcity plus demand. Rarity is the golden rule in coin collecting. With only a few known specimens of the 1980 New Pence era coin, collectors are willing to pay massive sums to secure one. The demand far outstrips the supply, creating an explosive surge in value. $68,000 on the lower end. $98,000 in well-preserved, graded conditions. And in one reported private sale, an immaculate example sold for an astonishing $158,000. How to identify what to look for. So how do you know if you're holding the real deal? Here's what you need to check. Obverse, front features Queen Elizabeth II with the Raphael Maklauf portrait, used from 1985 to 1997. But earlier examples may use the Arnold Machin portrait if struck from older dies. Reverse, back look for the inscription, New Pence, instead of 2 pence. The history behind the coin. Let's rewind to 1971, a pivotal year in British currency history. This was the year the United Kingdom officially switched to a decimal currency system. It was a complete transformation of the monetary system. Pounds, shillings, and pence were replaced with a simplified decimal format, 100 pence to a pound. To ease the public into this change, coins were released with the wording, New Pence, to distinguish them from the old pre-decimal coins. Man detected the rare error that makes this coin extremely valuable. In most cases, these coins are common. Millions were minted. But a small number of coins escaped the mint with critical errors, and these are the coins collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands for. So what makes the rare 1971 2p coin worth up to $105,000? Here are the possible error types that increase its value exponentially. 1. Mule error. This is when the obverse, head side, of the coin is mismatched with the wrong reverse, tail side. In rare cases, 2p coins were struck with an incorrect pairing, creating a numismatic unicorn. 2. Off-center strikes. Some coins from 1971 were struck improperly, showing a visibly off-center design. These minting errors are very rare and extremely desirable among collectors. 3. Double strikes or misstrikes. These errors occur when a coin is struck more than once by the die, creating blurred or shadowed images of the design. 4. Wrong planchet errors. In ultra-rare cases, a 2p design was struck on the wrong type of blank, say, a blank meant for a 1p coin or a foreign coin, giving it a completely unusual weight or color. And most intriguingly, money bag value and auction records. Let's talk real numbers, because this is where it gets jaw-dropping. White heavy checkmark, a pristine or uncirculated 1971 2p coin with a verified mule or metal composition error has sold for upwards of $53,000. White heavy checkmark. Some collector-backed auctions have recorded intense bidding wars pushing prices to $81,000. White heavy checkmark. And in one confirmed instance, a near-mint example of a mule error coin fetched over $105,000 at a private collector's auction. Magnifying glass tilted left. What to look for, your coin hunting checklist. If you've got any old British coins lying around, especially from the early 1970s, here's your treasure hunter's checklist. White heavy checkmark, look for 1971 on the date. White heavy checkmark, ensure it says new pence, not 2 pence. White heavy checkmark, inspect for any off-center design, extra edges, or ghost images. White heavy checkmark, compare the coin's weight and size to a regular 2p. Any discrepancy might mean a wrong planchet. White heavy checkmark, use a magnet. Authentic 1971 2p coins should not be magnetic. If yours is, you might have something special. White heavy checkmark, consult a reputable coin expert or numismatic appraiser if you suspect a genuine error coin. Final word, why this coin captivates collectors. Coins like the 1971 2p error are more than metal, they're moments in history, frozen in time with a twist of fate. Whether it's due to human error or a minting mishap, these rare variations have become the holy grail. History of the coin, the backstory of the new pence design. To understand why this coin is worth tens, or even hundreds, of thousands of dollars, we need to go back to 1971, the year of decimalisation in the UK. That's when the British currency system shifted from the old pounds, shillings, and pence to the simpler decimal system we know today. When decimal coins were first introduced, the new 2p coin was marked new pence to differentiate it from the old pre-decimal coins. From 1971 to 1981, all 2p coins bore the inscription new pence on the reverse side. However, in 1982, something changed. The error, how it happened. Somewhere during this transition in the early 1980s, a small number of 2p coins were mistakenly minted in 1983, or possibly even 1980, with the old new pence design instead of the updated 2 pence. This was not a deliberate commemorative strike. It was a genuine error, an accidental slip-up during mass production. These coins are known today as the 1982p new pence error coins. They should never have existed. They were likely struck using leftover dies, or a die was accidentally reused during the minting process. Because of this extremely rare error, only a handful of these coins are known to exist, making them ultra-scarce and highly desirable to collectors. The value, why it's worth so much. Now to the burning question, why is this tiny 2p coin worth more than a brand new car, or even a luxury watch? The answer lies in scarcity plus demand. Rarity is the golden rule in coin collecting. With only a few known specimens of the 1980 new pence error coin, collectors are willing to pay massive sums to secure one. The demand far outstrips the supply, creating an explosive surge in value. $68,000 on the lower end. $98,000 in well-preserved, graded conditions. And in one reported private sale, an immaculate example sold for an astonishing $158,000. How to identify what to look for. So how do you know if you're holding the real deal? Here's what you need to check. Obverse, front features Queen Elizabeth II with the Raphael Maklauf portrait, used from 1985 to 1997. But earlier examples may use the Arnold Machin portrait if struck from older dies. Reverse, back, look for the inscription, new pence, instead of 2 pence. But why is it so rare? Numismatists speculate that only a handful of these coins exist, perhaps even fewer than 10 globally. Since they were never meant for public circulation and may have only been struck as test or transitional pieces, their existence defies logic. That kind of mystery, that's exactly what makes collectors go wild.